Since 2014, we have been serving clients throughout the Richmond metropolitan area and abroad. I'm so excited and honored to have been asked by Thomas Nelson Community College to address the class of 2020. I'm so honored and I'm so proud to stand before you to address you on what it's like to take a leap, especially a leap in such an uncertain time. So, I want to share a little bit about me before making this conversation a little bit more meaningful for you and your journey as you matriculate throughout life. I started my career as an educator. So, just like you, I went to college and continuing education was all I ever thought about. I had a very illustrious career in education, both in the classroom and administratively. I loved the students. I loved the work. I loved moving the needle for teachers and helping parents achieve their personal goals and educational goals for their children. But after many years of working in the classroom and as an administrator, I got to a place where I realized that I was no longer listening to myself. I was no longer giving myself the time, which is so important, to hear what my soul was crying out for. After a few years of listening or hearing these voices tell me that I was not on the right track, I finally decided to listen. I decided to listen to my spirit that was telling me that there was something else in store. I'm encouraging you through this story to listen to yourself, to give yourself time to hear the inner voice inside that may be telling you to do something that you're not expecting to have to do. I'm calling that a leap. My leap took place a few years ago after working, like I said, in education. And I had to make a very tough decision. And that decision was to lay down my educator hat and pick up a hat that was unprecedented in my life, and that hat was floristry. I had no formal training whatsoever. I had no friends in the industry whatsoever, but I believed in myself and knew that the voices that were telling me to leap would never be encouraging me to do something that the universe was not prepared to support. So after starting the Flower Guy Bron, it was apparent that I was working within my purpose. I missed my children, I missed the teachers, and I missed the parents, but more importantly, I was loving the opportunities to create with my hands and use my mind in a different way that I'd never been able to use professionally before. It was apparent to me in that moment and in multiple moments that my leap was perfect. And the leap that I had taken was the leap that was meant for me. So, with that said, in terms of leap, some of you have already taken a humongous leap in considering continuing education. Some of you may have never thought in a million years that you would have a degree behind your name. And I'm here to congratulate you again, class of 2020, for all that you have done. Your blood, your sweat, and your tears were not in vain. All of the work and time that you sacrificed from family, friends, celebrations, all of the things that you've done to stay on track, to earn this diploma is beyond honorable. And it is a leap. And so as you've made these sacrifices and as you've entered into continuing education and you have now finished and we are here at your commencement, I just want everyone to take a moment and pat themselves on their shoulder. Give yourself a round of applause. If you're sitting in a room with family and friends, hopefully no more than 10, I want them to stand up and salute you and celebrate all of the things that you are accomplishing in this moment. Some of you are single parents. Some of you are not English speaking people. Some people are just getting to a place where they can afford to make the sacrifice of school. All of us are coming from different backgrounds, and I celebrate that. I celebrate the Spanish speaker. I celebrate the single moms. I celebrate the working dads, and all of you who have come together to excel and to push yourself further in your career. You deserve a round of applause, and your leap is not in vain. For those of you wondering what it looks like from now, I don't know what your background is. I don't know what your major was. However, I know that as we know it is changing quite drastically. And I want you to be in a place, because of this major leap that you've taken, you are now going to be positioned to pivot much differently than someone not in your shoes. You have been given all of the tools, all of the technical skills to take and practice in your profession. And even as the world changes around us and we don't necessarily know what lies ahead, I want you to know that you have what it takes to pivot and find success in this world. Our world is depending on you to take the skills that Thomas Nelson Community College has given you, all of those tools that you now have in your toolbox. I want you to utilize those tools to the best of your ability to further yourself and help your families be more successful. And I guarantee you it will always pay off. In closing, I want you to think about your life. And I want you to think about some of the mistakes that you may have made. All of that is gone. No longer are we going to focus on the things that we were unsuccessful with, because we are now successful graduates and the class of 2020 at Thomas Nelson Community College. Again, give yourselves a round of applause. Because of this achievement, you now have the skills, but I also now want you to have the mental skills to know when to listen to yourself and when to take time, the necessary time to hear the birds chirping and to see the sunrise and sunset. The life that we live is a beautiful one. And it only gets more beautiful the more we're aware of what's around us. So continue to take time to listen, continue to take time to think about and to think retrospectively on your life and your decisions, but most importantly, think about what lies ahead. And I promise you, what's coming is far greater than what's been. I'd like to thank and congratulate all of the graduates of the 2020 class at Thomas Nelson Community College, as well as thanking all of the administrators for having me address your graduates today. Godspeed, and the best is yet to come. Congratulations to the class of 2020.